Hello there, YouTube. I thought I'd go ahead and give everybody a quick update on my aquarium. So, as you can see, we went down from about 18 fish to about 13 fish. The white molly has finally died. I suspect that the Oscar, which has about tripled in size since I first got it, probably ate it, and the red cichlid, the red parrot cichlid, has also about doubled in size. And my third favorite one would be the silver dollar. The bala shark is also really cool. It's grown considerably, and there is a mixture of African and South American cichlids. As you can see, they all get along pretty well. I know that there's been people out there asking me if the conditions are ideal for the type of cichlids. They get along perfectly fine. The fish that have not survived were the pink tetra, which it was kind of a given. You know, I'm surprised that it lasted that long. And of course, also the white molly. Then there's also a gourami there, as you can see on the top right of the aquarium, a bluish silver gourami that's still hanging around, and it makes me happy to still see him there. It looks like the cichlids won't bother him until probably when he dies, and then he'll become their food. About a couple of months ago, I experienced a little bit of bacteria, and my water was getting a little bit whitish, and I could understand why. I do water cycles about every other week, and it would go away for about a few days and then it would come back. I really could understand the reason behind it. And one of the things that I was doing when I was changing about 10-15% of the water is that I was adding the quick start from Aquarium, from API, and I suspect that may have been the reason. The water's already been conditioned. The water that I use, again, is water from Walmart that has the reversed osmosis, the green bottle. So I suspect that might have been part of the reason behind it. Right now I haven't fed the fish, so the moment I get close to the aquarium, they're gonna go a little bit crazy. I thought it was the food, and so what I did for a while was that I was coming to the end. I have two mixtures. One of them is a cichlid mixture, and the other one is a general fixed mixture. I do like Tetra for the brand of food that I use. And then I went to the store and I saw this Tetra cichlid, but they're crisps, which is the same one that I had, but on the flakes, and then the Tetra color and also crisps. And it says that it's supposedly, aside from color enhancer, it's supposed to be 30%, 35% less waste. Actually, on both of them it says the same thing. I do like it, don't get me wrong, I do like it, but one of the things that I've noticed is that because these fish are very aggressive and they're always very hungry. I had two bottom feeders. I had an upside down fish that was my wife's, and I had a Cory catfish that was very, very hardy, and I'm surprised that it passed away. But what happened was that a lot of the food was not really trickling down to the bottom. So for those that may consider using the crisps, that is going to be something to consider, and you may want to go ahead and still add, if you have bottom feeders, you may still want to go ahead and continue using some sort of flakes that are going to get to the bottom of the aquarium and that are going to allow the bottom feeders to go ahead and eat. I suspect that's what it was. I do miss the Cory catfish. I had that Cory catfish for over a year, so I'm a little bit sad about it. But you know, again, it is an aggressive cichlid aquarium, and these fish are always chasing each other and eating and stuff like that. A very, very active aquarium. Recently, going back to the bacteria bloom that I was having, I stopped adding the quick start, and I was only adding the quick start to the 10 or so gallons that I was adding. Okay, so I know what you're gonna tell me, what you're adding quick start as if it was a brand new aquarium. No, I was really only adding it to about those 7, 8, 10 gallons that I was changing every other week. And so what I stopped doing that, and I'm just doing the water. I'm still adding the salt, and I even purchased the water clear for the from API. That's the quick start that I'm talking about, that I was using. And then I went ahead and also purchased the AquaClear, and that worked pretty good. But you know what, I am a firm believer that I don't like to have a lot of chemicals, so I'm just staying away from that for right now. I'm gonna do the water changes, specifically with the waters that I mentioned previously, and so far it's been great. Now, as far as the crisps, as soon as I finish this, I will go back to the flakes. One of the things that I noticed about the crisps is that the moment that they're done with it, the fish no longer go and search around the aquarium for more food. They finish it so quickly that, you know, everything's done in about a minute, and then that's the end of it. And I don't like that. I do enjoy watching the fish afterwards, going down to the bottom and still smelling small particles of food and cleaning the aquarium better. The other thing that I didn't really like about the crisps is that when they go number 2, when they poop, the excrement, the poop is very thick, it's pretty large, it's orange in color, and it does take a while for it to dissipate, for it to disintegrate in the water. So I don't like that. So after I finished with these, I mean, these were a little bit pricier, about $9-10 a bottle, and so I don't want to go ahead and do that anymore. But I do want to finish it because it is good food, and it's good to change it on them every once in a while. I stopped giving them the little wafers or wafers, however you pronounce it. These are very good. I had these in particular for my bottom feeders, but since I don't have a Cory catfish, I do still give these to the cichlids, and they seem to like it. Also, this has been great. They absolutely love the shrimp pellets from Omega 1, and I strongly recommend both of those products. They really are very good, and you will not be disappointed. From the last version of the aquarium, I moved stuff around. I went ahead and moved the filtration system to as middle as possible. If you can see from the past video, it was on the right hand side, and I had my heater on one of the corners. So I did notice that the heater was, even though it's rated for 65 to 75 gallons, it really was not covering the entire aquarium. There were parts of the aquarium that were still 5-10 degrees cooler than closer to the heater. Now that I put it right in the middle, and that it's also closer to the filtration system, I do see a more evened out temperature. I do like to keep the temperature, as you can see, right about 82 to 84 degrees, and they love it. I don't suffer from any ick. I know some people may say, hey, you know, you might want to keep it a little bit cooler than that, but it's been great. The fish are active, the fish have been healthy, they continue to grow. As you can see, they're very colorful. The colors that my fish have it's really pretty cool. You know, this guy right here, for example, the colors might be a little bit hard to appreciate on a video because he's moving so fast, but when he's calm and you're able to appreciate the black and the yellow on top of the fins, it's really neat. So all the colors are very vivid, even on the darker fish, you know, like the convict. They're very good. So just really happy with the aquarium. I just wanted to give a quick update. You know, I've had some questions, and I appreciate all the viewers. It's really a really cool, very relaxing hobby. Any questions, I'll be more than glad to answer. I want to say that every answer and any comment that you folks have left in my other videos have been responded to, and I appreciate the feedback, and you know, I hope that you get into it, and once the initial costs are out of the way, it's incredibly enjoyable, and I love the fish, you know, and I've had it for going on 9 months now, and I absolutely love it. And a lot of the fish that are present, they're the same fish that I had from the beginning, such as the Oscars, such as uh, the red parrot cichlid, some of the blue cichlids, the convict, the cherry cichlid. I mean, a lot of these, some of the yellow cichlids have all been there from the beginning, even the gourami, if I'm not mistaken. But it's been a very healthy aquarium, really easy. It really has a lot to do with your water cycles and not overfeeding. And I do clean the pads on the carbon pads on the filter. As a matter of fact, I remember now that when I changed the pads, you're supposed to change them supposedly every month, but I do like to rinse them because they have the bacteria there, and I just rinse them, and I never had a problem with it. And then when I started to have the problem with the bacteria bloom is when I purchased new pads, and I rinsed them really, really well because, get out of the carbon excess and all that, but it still happened. So if you're going to change the pads, make sure that it's because they're really falling apart, or you're beginning to have problems because the carbon isn't working anymore. I do like to rinse those once a week. I am using two. It has two slots for 2 cartridges on each side. But if I use the 4 slots, there isn't sufficient water flow, and then the little wheels, that's part of the bacteria, it stops working because there isn't enough circulation. So I only use 2, 1 on each side, and that seems to work fine. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. Again, please feel free to shoot me a question. It's a really cool hobby, and I hope you enjoy it. Take care, y'all. Bye-bye.